is up guys, welcome back to Tendox TV. Today in this video we are going to do a gaming and performance test of the Redmi Note 9. So we will check the frame rates, we will play some high-end games, check the CPU temperature and see whether this phone performs good or not. Because the processor that this phone uses, the MediaTek Helio G85 processor, is optimized for gaming. So we will test it and see how it performs. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to Tendox TV for more interesting tech videos like this, and also if you like this video, do hit the like button. So let's get started. So we will start the test with Call of Duty Mobile. I have already downloaded it and currently the battery percentage is 67% and it's almost 3 p.m. So we will also check the battery, how much the battery falls. So let's open the game. So now I have opened Call of Duty Mobile. As you can see, now I will play it for quite some while. Also I am using the game turbo mode, so if I slide this I could easily see my frame rate. And let me tell you guys quickly what settings I am playing at. So I am playing at graphic quality low because I want the best performance, and I am playing at frame rate medium. I will also play at graphic quality medium and frame rate high to tell you guys how much how smooth the game runs. So first let's play it at low graphic quality and medium frame rate. Anyways, that was a defeat. So I played one match in Call of Duty Mobile and it's still going on. Just a second. Yeah. So I played one match in Call of Duty Mobile, and let me tell you my observations. While I was checking the frame rates, I saw 2 frame drops, I believe, 2 stutters in between, and the battery has came down to 65%, and I have been playing for about 5 minutes, and I am also using battery saver on, and I am playing on low graphics and medium frame rate. The lowest frame rate that I noticed was 24, and 24 is fine, I would say, because 30 frames per second is the standard. If the frame rate falls below that, that means your phone is stuttering or is lagging. So according to my observations, it was mostly running at 60 or 50 frames per second, and also in between that, but twice I saw 2 frame drops. So yeah, it runs quite well in low graphics and in medium frame rate. But the battery performance is not that great, because already 65% from 67%, and I'm also using battery saver. Just while playing 5 minutes, the battery has fallen by 2%, even while using the battery saver. So now I will change my settings. I will change my settings to medium, graphic quality medium, and frame rate to high. So this will push the game to its limits, and also the phone's processor to its limits. So let's see how the phone performs in medium graphics and high settings. So 2 defeats, one after another, really disappointing. But we are here to test the game, not to play the game. So now my observations: in graphics quality medium and frame rate high, the phone ran extremely smooth, like really smooth, no frame drops, no stutters. The lowest that I saw was 39 frames per second, which is still very good. If you consider the price of the phone, the performance is excellent in Call of Duty Mobile. But the battery, I am a little concerned about that. Again, after playing 5 minutes, the battery has dropped from 65% to 63%. So if you are playing Call of Duty Mobile, you will lose 2% battery in every 5 minutes, but that is with the battery saver. So you could expect a drop of about 5% in without the battery saver in 5 minutes. Now we will play another game. This is the last game, and then we will move on to our next game. Again, I am playing this at graphics quality medium and frame rate high. So let's see. Okay, so finally a win for me. And now I have noticed that the phone is overheating a bit. I mean, it's getting warm. I could feel it by my hands. Again, graphics quality medium and frame rate high. Excellent performance once again. And the battery drop is again the same 2% in 5 minutes. So it's very consistent battery life, and the phone is getting a little warm. If you play for 1 or 1.5 hours, you will definitely notice some overheating, but it's very minimal currently. Now let's exit Call of Duty Mobile. The next game that we are going to play is World War II Heroes, and this is also a big game, 660 MB I believe. I don't know the exact number, but that's just an estimate. So now let's open this game. By the way, I will link all the games in the description if you are interested in downloading any one of them. Now this game does not give you any control over your settings like graphics quality or frame rate, just not like Call of Duty Mobile, but still this is a great game with great graphics. Now we will play this game for some time and then check again. The battery is 61% currently after playing about 15 to 20 minutes of Call of Duty Mobile, and frame drops was only in the medium quality settings, not in the high quality and medium graphics. So this phone has performed pretty well till now. Now this game is a little harder than Call of Duty and I'm not as good at it, so please don't mind if I lose. Okay, so I played this for about 5 minutes. Again, the battery performance is pretty consistent. Again, 2% drop, and now the phone has heated up quite a bit after playing 30 or 40 minutes of heavy gaming. The phone has heated up quite a bit. So yes, I am concerned about overheating now. I will give it some rest and then play again. So now let's give this phone some rest while I tell you about the performance of this processor. So now I am giving a bit of rest to the phone because it just overheated, and why I will tell you in a second. Now let's talk about the processor that this phone uses. It uses the MediaTek Helio G85 processor, and when this phone was launched, it was the first phone in India to have the MediaTek Helio G85 processor. Now if we talk about clock speeds, the processor clocks in at 2 GHz and 1.8 GHz. If you don't know what gigahertz is, it's the speed of the processor. The more the gigahertz, the better the processor. So it's 2 GHz and it's totally fine for the price. But the problem is, and that is the reason why the phone overheated, is it's based on 12 nanometer architecture. That means the size of the processor is 12 nanometer, and if the nanometer of the processor is more, it will overheat. You know, if you look at processors from Qualcomm at this price range, Qualcomm's processor have 8 nanometer or 7 nanometer process, but this is based on 12 nanometer process, and that is the reason why this overheats so fast. And now it has got quite warm. I will have to open the case and keep it aside for a while to let it cool down, and then we will continue the test. But the processor is optimized for gaming, and it has the Hyper Engine technology of MediaTek. That means it's more optimized for gaming. And if we talk about AnTuTu benchmark scores, it clocks in at 2 lakhs, which is pretty good. And in terms of AnTuTu benchmark, it is competing with all the other processors in this price range. So in terms of performance, the processor is pretty good, but in terms of heat control and fabrication process, this processor is a little weak. The Redmi Note 9 Pro has the Snapdragon 720G processor, which is a little better than this, and that is also an 8nm processor. That means that does not overheat. So, but the Redmi Note 9 Pro is a way more expensive phone. This is the 4GB RAM version, and it's perfectly fine for gaming, but if you want even more performance, you need to go with the 6GB 128GB version of this phone. I will link 3 of the models in the description if you want to check them out. And finally, let's talk about overall performance, how the phone performed, the battery life, the frame rates, everything combined together. What are my impressions for gaming? Now, in terms of battery, it's very consistent. Now, I was always turning on the battery saver because this is a 12 nanometer processor, the MediaTek Helio G85. So 12 nanometer processor means it will consume a lot of battery if you are doing heavy tasks like gaming. But if you are doing light tasks like watching YouTube videos or doing some light stuff like browsing the net, it will not be a problem. But if you are gaming particularly, you will notice some battery issues, and I noticed them as well. But when I turned on the battery saver, 5 minutes 2% drop. So that was that was like the exact measure. For 5 minutes after playing, I saw a 2% drop in all the games. So that was pretty consistent. If you do not use the battery saver, if you want better internet speed and you don't want to turn on the battery saver, you could turn it off, but then you will notice about 5 or 6% drop in 5 minutes. That means 1% per minute. So the battery life is pretty average, I will say, not that great. But still, if it would have been an 8 nanometer processor rather than a 12 nanometer processor, the battery performance would have been really, really great. Stutters and frame rates, I have told you, very, very less. In some specific games, maybe you will see some stutters and frame rates, but frame drops, but otherwise it's totally fine. So that is it, guys, for this video. If you enjoyed this video, do hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to Technodocs TV for more interesting tech videos like this. If you want to buy the Redmi Note 9, I will leave a link in the description. You can buy it from there. I will give a link for all of the games that I have played in this video as well. So that is it. Thanks for watching.